Folks, we're going to have a conversation that we haven't had in a while, and we're really going to discuss why Hemlane is the perfect platform for mom and pop investors. And of course, we're going to have this conversation with the CEO, Dana Dunford. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me this morning.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about why Hemlane is a platform. It's not a tool. It's not an application. It's a platform.
So just to begin with technology companies, there's been, especially in real estate, a lot of questions of how much can technology do for you. Mm-hmm. And Michael, you and I talk about that as well. You still need boots on the ground, whether it's you yourself or some third party who helps you with your real estate. Everything can't be 100% remote, right? And the other thing that I would say is there's a lot of companies out there that are softwares. They're a property management software. And what a software does is that's a tool. Yes. And that is a tool to help you stay organized, communicate, collect rent, etc. Why we call ourselves a platform is we believe that, one, it should have all the tools. It should automate as much as it can for you to make your life more streamlined, and not only automate it, but just make your life easier. For example, you may not know how much you can charge for pet rent. You may not know what fair housing is. We're going to link you to all those resources or give you big red, watch out, you cannot say that. Exactly, in your advertisement. And so you have not only the tools, but what I would like to say is like education. So very similar to what One Rental at a Time does when you're purchasing and building up your portfolio, doing the same thing on the property management side. So that's a huge thing that we kind of live and breathe by, is like making the software. We always say it's like software on steroids, is what we say. Then the second part of why we call it a platform instead of a software. And we've gone back and forth because sometimes we'll see someone on marketing put like software in one of the landing pages and we're like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do software. And I think it's because of this whole concept of a platform helps connect you to others. And that is really, really important to us here at Hemlane. We will help connect you to the general contractor or the plumber or the electrician through the platform. We are not your plumber or electrician. We are not your property manager. We are not your local leasing agent who finds and places a tenant. That's not us, but we're connecting you with the person who is. And why we decided to, with a lot of the folks who are on the ground, why they're separate entities, why they're third parties, they're not Hemlane, is in a platform-based approach. What I love about it is the competition. If someone is not working out, and we've seen this time and time again, we've had some handymen who are like amazing and they've always been on time and we constantly use them. And then one day a tenant just puts in a bad review of like 1 star, and we call them and we're like, what happened? And they're like, they brought their emotional support animal like to do the work. They started screaming. They were going crazy. And we find out that maybe they're bipolar, or they are now addicted. They have substance abuse, something like that. And we've seen that happen time and time again. And so by being a platform, it's very easy to quickly take that person off and say, you know what, we've got 3 other people lined up for you. Yeah. And you can use these folks. And so that's why the platform component is so important to us, is connecting you to the right people on the ground and using the data we have and using the other users' reviews to say, here's who is good for you, and here's the people where the ratings are telling us otherwise, to help you get there. And then the last thing I would say about it, which is really important, is in your own journey of owning real estate, it's going to change. So you might decide to be really hands-on right at the beginning and be that local support. You might go on a vacation or buy more real estate and say, you know what, I can't do it all. I need to tap in. I need some sort of assistant or a coordinator to help me with things. And on the platform, you can go ahead and do that and tap into what you need.
Yeah. When I think about Hemlane being a platform, I really break it down into the kind of working elements of being a mom and pop landlord. And that, we're talking a lot about operations here, but it really starts way up front in advertising, right? The ability to put in and, double check for, all the appropriate fair housing and all of that, but also inputting it once and advertising to all the spots is very helpful. Then you think about the operations, not only repair coordination, which has always been a competitive advantage of Hemlane since day one. It's great leadership on your part as a CEO to see that as a unique differentiator and not just a tool, right? We don't need another version of Excel that tracks everything. We need something that helps facilitate. It's a people business, and you need that facilitation. And then it's collecting rent and audit trail. I mean, the big thing for me in the beginning was audit trail, right? I've been doing this so long. The audit trail was paper, right? I mean, like physical. I had to buy a file cabinet for the all of the invoices and things. Now it's all electronic. So I really look at Hemlane as being that platform and breaking down the different tasks, and then to your point, being able to say, hey, I'm willing to do these things and not these things. I want to work out, with other folks. It's powerful. And you've also continued to advance, right? You brought up a free version this year. You've done lots of other amazing things around financial reporting, and, just watching you evolve this platform to add more and more value has been kind of fun to watch from the outside.
Yeah, it's been fun on the inside too, because there's two different things as we build the product. One of the things that's exciting is giving customers certain features and building things that they didn't ask for and they said they didn't want, but we knew it was the right thing to do in our discovery. And then the other is, hey, here's the things that everyone's asking for. We just need to build these. And we're always balancing those two. And so I think that's a fun part about innovation and the platform approach. And there's a book called Play Bigger. And it talks about category creation and creating new categories in industries. And for us, what that means is we're trying to create this new category where it's not all or nothing. It is not like, hey, you have to do everything on your own or you have to hire a traditional property manager. It's you can do everything in the middle. And what's exciting about it is we have traditional property managers who also use Hemlane because they can be those boots on the ground and they can help out because they say, hey, 72% of owners self-manage. This is a great opportunity for us to connect and work with them. And so I think for us, that whole ecosystem and the whole platform-based approach and creating a new category that's, hey, this should be, it should be easier to manage your properties is incredibly core to what we do. And we also just throughout the entire process kind of stick with our mission where we say that when you rent homes, we need to turn those rentals into homes. And so what that means is like a tenant should feel so comfortable here. They should, as your customer, they should have a delightful experience. But obviously with the checks and balance, like if your customer is not paying, we make sure that we have the checks and balance in place for them. So it's been exciting to build. What's interesting about it is we've seen other players come into this space, obviously in technology, raise venture capital money, but they are all just layering technology onto the existing industry. So just saying we're a software for this person or for that type of person, or we're a brokerage. And for us, it's like, hey, we wanted to do something totally different. We wanted to make it where we could reinvent how you thought of managing your properties and how your tenants experienced that as well.
Yeah. Hadn't planned to do this, but you've sparked these ideas. So I'm going to ask anyway. When you look at 2025, are you still very much looking at organic product development or, as the CEO, are you out there evaluating bolt-on acquisitions or have you thought about any of this? What do you see kind of in the future to make these big leaps and take Hemlane to the next level?
Yeah, the acquisitions are really interesting. There's single point solutions, and a single point solution would be something like a renter's insurance product or something like that you would tap into it. Those are exciting from an acquisition perspective. As you can imagine with Silicon Valley and the whole reset of every company, there's been a lot for sale.
Yeah, I imagine.
And what is interesting, what we've always seen is, hey, a lot of these platforms that are up for sale and have said they're selling that have come across our desk, we've looked at them and said maybe we should acquire them because then we get their customers and we bring their customers over to the platform. But what we found in all of the cases and all of our due diligence is acquiring that company and their customers, despite getting a ton of customers right at once, the customer acquisition cost and what they want us to pay per door is so outrageously expensive. And we say, hey, we can grow organically. We can grow through our partners. We can grow through our customers because customers, when they refer, right, they get, when they experience it, they'll want to refer. We can grow at a much more sustainable rate with that. So we've never been able to get the numbers to work to acquire another platform. Even though we've spoken with a lot of them, we haven't been able to get that to work. But our whole 2025 plan is still focusing on the product. And so, we've launched the e-sign. We're looking at better, stronger notifications in app for you, an actual mobile app. Like there's a lot of things that we're going to be looking at to say, how do we just make this easier for you to use? And then another core thing to that is also not increasing the price from what we have and really saying, hey, let's go ahead and continue to double down and just give our users more over time.
Yeah. What I see you doing with Hemlane is you're always out there looking for what would be best for the customer, right? You really think about the end customer, the mom and pop landlord, which is awesome. You always have a product roadmap. You're always extending things. You've brought lots of surprises in 2024 and will undoubtedly do that in 2025. If somebody wanted to go look, play with, see what they get involved with the free version, where do they go?
Yep. Go to Hemlane, HEMLANE.com. Mention one rental at a time, because if you do decide to use any of our paid packages, you get 20% off, which is our highest discount. And then on top of that, there is the free plan. So if you're looking to find a place to tenant, we'll advertise your rental out to multiple listing websites. We also provide the free accounting. So it's Bank Sync. It syncs with your bank account. You can upload your receipts and manage your P&L from there.
Folks, if you're a mom and pop landlord, do yourself a favor. Go check out hemlane.com. Even if you just go to the resources tab, we don't talk about the resources tab enough. It is there and extremely valuable. Dana, you're amazing.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
You got it.